Not only to change the mind, but that also the change in the mindset will follow in action.
Yeah, it's good you said that. Sometimes I think like I'm not providing information of the world. Gapminder tried to create a new storage system in the head for the information of the world. Because if we have two parts in the head, West and the rest, and everything that is about West, Australia, Canada, Germany, we put in this side. And everything that is about Morocco, Indonesia, Brazil, we put in the others. It won't work. We have to have a much more diverse storage system. We say these are the collapsed countries in crisis. Whether it is Haiti, it's Somalia, it's Afghanistan. These are the low-income countries, Cambodia, Mozambique, Ghana. These are the middle-income countries, Thailand, Brazil, you know. We must have many levels, and then we must have a special for those middle-income oil economy with authoritarian leaders, Venezuela, Iran. It's quite amazing when you see the leader of Iran and Venezuela hug each other, two completely different cultures, and yet they identify themselves with each other. So we need to have several groups of countries. And I used to honor George W. Bush.
You used to honor?
George W. Bush. I honor him for a very specific thing.
Tell us.
Yes, in the last...
Maybe people can follow you.
Yes, no, it's not so common that public health professors in Sweden honor George W. Bush.
Yeah.
So it's also a trick for you to continue to listen to this video. You know, in the last month of his presidency, he just wanted to sit, you know, and wait for the end of it. He was just tired. And then the entire economy blew up in his face, you know, from Wall Street. And he grabbed to his pocket and he had no money. He had lowered the taxes. He had no money to bail out. So he phoned his friends in the G7. He phoned Merkel, he phoned, you know, Brown, and they said, no, we have no money. So he had to phone a socialist trade union leader and ask President Lula, does Brazil have some money? And he said, yes. And he had to phone Putin, he had to phone Saudi Arabia, he had to phone China, and he said, no more G7, now we start G20. That's what I honor him for. I like Gorbachev also. Gorbachev who said, no more communism, let's end it. I think this is difficult for a leader who sees his system collapse, but in the end take the right decision, you know. And this G20, I think, is what George Bush may be remembered for. He may be remembered for having realized that, many say that decision by him to call that meeting, that was the end of the Second World War. It was not the fall of the Berlin Wall. It was the collapse of Wall Street and having to ask Brazil for money. This was the end of the Second World War. That was the end of the concept of West and the rest. It's gone. We have a new world. I call it the continuous world. Tom Friedman called it the flat world. Jeff Sachs called it the converging world. It all tells the same story as our most successful video, which we have done here at Gapmind, is 200 Years That Changed the World. A simple screen catch video that shows you that 200 years ago, economy and health was relatively similar in the different parts of the world. Then this fantastic industrialization and democratization started in West Europe with so many wars and conflicts, but in the end with welfare societies that were rich and wealthy, leaving the rest of the world behind. Now the rest is following. And they are moving faster than West Europe ever did. No, child mortality in Bangladesh, in Egypt, in Brazil are falling faster the last decade than it ever did in Sweden. There's a true catch-up taking place. This description of the world, this image we have to understand. And I am particularly interested to show that the last billion is not following. The new gap in the world will not be between Germany and China. It will be between China and Ethiopia. It may be between China and Mozambique. That's the big risk, that we have to bring all the poorest countries with you. We can't leave Afghanistan in collapse. But I'm very difficult to tell what to do about it. I become more and more humble with that. But we have to realize that the difference is no longer between the West and the rest. It's between the 4/5 of the world population that moves ahead and the 1/5 that is left behind.